Whether we have slept in Zubiri or here in Larrasoaña, today we have a stage in which we have to take time to visit the first big city, Pamplona. Of the stretch that remains between Larrasoaña and Pamplona, I highlight two things. One, the church of Zabaldica, which is not at the foot of the road, but I encourage you to do so. You have the opening hours in the application French Camino de Santiago. And secondly, an emblematic point as is the Trinidad de Arre, which is the beginning of the entire urban area of Villava, Burlada and Pamplona. Let's go! In Larrasoaña, I remember Santiago Zubiri, who died in 2022. I visit the house of the man who was a pioneer of the Camino, precursor of the pilgrims' hostel in the town. He was responsible for collecting a large number of Jacobean objects and signed souvenirs that today we can see in his particular museum of the Camino de Santiago. We ascend to the nearby Akerreta. We pass by the Church of the Transfiguration, which preserves several Romanesque elements. After opening a gate and crossing a road, we then go to the banks of the Arga river, enjoying a charming route. At the Zurian Dam, the woodcutters had to pay a fee for transporting the wood downstream. At the exit of another bridge, we arrive at the bar and hostel La Parada de Zurian, and we leave next to the National Road 135. We advance parallel to it, usually traveled by cyclists who go to the port of Ero. We take the detour towards Irotz and cross the Arga once again to get closer to Irotz. On the right, we see the Church of San Pedro. And at the exit, the Iturgaiz Bridge, of Romanesque style and built next to the disappeared Hermitage of Montserrat. At the exit of the bridge, the road forks and offers two options. This is the beginning of the Arga River Park, which will take us to Pamplona. It is a very good alternative for biciclinos. It's 700 meters longer, but it is all flat and comfortable. Otherwise, the other option is to continue along the historic road by which we can climb to Zabaldica, whose church is very interesting. And there is also the hostel, which is one of the most outstanding landmarks in terms of hospitality along the Camino de Santiago. The ascent to Zabaldica is intense but short. First we have to cross the national road carefully, and then we advance along the path. It is worthwhile to get here and stop to rest on the esplanade. We will find the pilgrims' hostel and the church. The latter keeps the oldest bell in Navarra, which you can ring yourself when the church is open with volunteers. There is also a Christ with a multitude of petitions written by pilgrims. From the road, or from the church of Zabaldica, we continue along ascending and descending paths. We pass by Arleta, an old manor that has an ancient palace and the church of Santa Marina at the side of the road. We then descend to the bridge of the Trinity over the river Ulzama, where the Camino de Bastan that comes from Bayona meets. You can also find the guide in our application. On the other side of the medieval bridge stands the Church of the Trinity of Arre, usually open to the passage of pilgrims. Next to it is located the hostel. The road gives way to the main street of Villava, birthplace of the famous cyclist Miguel Indurain, winner of 5 Tours de France and 2 Tours of Italy. Villava connects with the adjacent town of Burlada. Advancing through the urban fabric, we will reach the Bridge of La Magdalena, declared a historical artistic monument in 1939. We end this beautiful stage at the door of Pamplona, in the literal sense. We are at the gate of the wall, which even has a drawbridge that works, and that every January 5th is lowered and raised to give access to the 3 wise men to enter the city. We invite you to discover Pamplona in a video that we have dedicated exclusively to this city on our YouTube channel, and remember that to guide you through the city, you will have these tiles. There is one every 5 meters, you can't miss them. And if not, you also have the map of the application. Buen camino!